Here we go with the first fight, Northern Wolves against Normandy.
Hello and welcome to Inside the List with me, Danny George from the Northern Wolves and Slavoj from Murmancy. In this episode, we're going to cover a couple of topics. We're going to have a bit of a discussion about IMCF. Slavoj was there.
We're going to be shitting on it, Ryan.
We're going to be as politically correct but honest as possible.
Not me.
We're going to review some fight footage from the IMCF. We're going to review some gold medal footage there from the fives. We're going to review some fight footage from Severnside, which happened in the UK on the same weekend as IMCF. And then we're going to have a look forwards to have a look at the groups for Way of Honor, which is coming up this coming weekend. A few predictions, and we'll go from there, see how it goes. So welcome.
Yep. And before we start, I'll do the usual YouTuber thing. Subscribe, like the episode, and comment about what you would like us to do next, or some whatever you want to comment, just let us know. And if you want to discuss with us further, you can join our Discord. There is some people already there, and it would help us so we can bounce ideas off you there. Is this good for the next episode? Or were you at this tournament? How was it? Let us know. Were there some interesting fights that we should focus on and stuff like that. So do that also. You can find the link to join the Discord in description. So let's get right into it, shall we?
Let's.
So yeah, IMCF happened, and I think it's safe to say that it was an absolute disaster.
Mm-hmm.
In, I think, 13 years I do this sport, this was by far, like by a mile, the worst tournament I ever attended. No competition in that regard.
Mm-hmm.
And I include like the complete like stone stick age of 2014, 13, whatever.
Yeah.
It's okay. So, as a fighter, what do you want from a tournament? 3 pretty basic things, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
You want water, you want shade, and you want to know when to fight.
Mm-hmm.
When to put armor, when to be there, for how long you will approximately fight, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So, the shade and the cover from the rain, that was 2 tents. And don't imagine like the huge like beer hall tents that go from
Mm-hmm.
there to over there, like 20 meters of a tent. No, that was like, one was approximately 5 by 5 meters, the other
Mm-hmm.
one was about 5 by 2, and that was everything. There was no other cover. And you can fit maybe if they bunch up 4 teams there,
Mm-hmm.
without too many supports. There was about, I don't know, 250 fighters for one day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How does this happen? Like, I don't understand it. Well, I kind of understand it, and I will get into it later why that happened, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing, water. There was a hose near some shitty little creek that you can
Mm-hmm.
fill your water bottles with. And as for the time, that was the biggest shit show I ever saw. Like, and that's from male perspective. It was even worse for females.
Yeah. So I think it's probably worth, for those people that might be listening to this and aren't familiar with what happened, just a quick headline overview. IMCF, 4 days of competition.
Yeah.
Supposedly 4 days. And immediately from day one, the schedule just basically went out of the window.
Yeah, I knew I knew it's gonna be a shit show from the start of the first day, because in 3 hours of program they managed to amass 2 hours of delay.
Mm-hmm.
How?
Yeah. And then that carried on for the entirety of the weekend.
Carried on.
And as a subsequence, teams and fighters decided to pull out of disciplines because they were getting told to be in armor for a specific time, and 4, 6, 8 hours, maybe even later, they'd still not actually had a fight yet. There were instances where, for example, the women's 3v3s, which were due to be scheduled and I think pretty much finished on either day 1 into day 2. Yeah.
No, on the first day that was supposed to be done.
So the women's 3v3 ended up as a category just being cancelled entirely after some fights had happened, but just.
And if it was cancelled, like after the first day, they said, okay, we cannot finish this, we are sorry. I think it would be better for them than what happened then, because they kept telling them, oh, it's gonna happen on the next day. They were ready in armor at some hour, they told them, and they were waiting in armor for like 5 hours before they told them, there is, or they had one fight maybe, and then they told them, no, it's actually gonna happen tomorrow. And so I'm gonna talk about my perspective. If anyone else wants to share their experience, put it in the comments, because I read a lot of opinions and experiences on the internet, but I'm just gonna talk about my perspective here. So so I arrived on the day 2. I went to armor check and weapons check, and that went relatively smoothly. Of course, there are some rules that are stupid, in my opinion, about the weapons, but those are the rules and you have to abide by them.
Yeah.
So, for instance, one thing. Well, let's not waste time with the weapons. That's rules. Marshals cannot alter them on the spot. Whatever. So after the weapon check, I went back because we were supposed to fight. I don't remember the exact times, and they are not really relevant here. But I think we were supposed to be ready in armor at whatever. Let's say 11. And so we were ready in armor at 11. And we started fights maybe 3 hours after that. So we were waiting in armor. That day was sunny, so under the sun.
Yeah.
At least it wasn't Visegrad amount of sunny, but still pretty uncomfortable.
Still warm though, right?
Yeah.
It was still 25 degrees, 24, 25 degrees.
Yeah. And the fights 5 versus 5 was supposed to end on that day. No chance they would. We knew that. But like at least we managed to finish the groups after that. So at least that. But still unbelievable. Okay, so we finished fighting at about 10 p.m. I think it was. Something around that time. And that was that was the groups finished. And they told us next day we are gonna start with 5s and be, well, not really, they told us. The problem was that they were scrambling. They couldn't figure it out how are they gonna work with the delays and what's gonna happen. So me as a representative and in the captain's chat, I was waiting for them to tell us when should we be ready for fights. And they wrote that into the captain's chat around like midnight, maybe even later. And they told us, be ready in armor at 9. We're gonna start fighting by then. So what that means? That means if I fall asleep at that very moment that I found out this information, and I don't live right by the castle, I have to wake up at the latest 6:30 so I can have a breakfast, put the clothes on, get into the car, go to the castle, be there around 8, put the armor on,
Yeah.
So that's around 5 hours of sleep. Put the armor on and get ready to fight at 9. Have the warm up, stuff like that. So you're ready by 9. Take a wild guess. Did we start fighting at 9?
No.
Not a chance. It was another, I don't know how much, like another 2-3 hours till we could get to the 5's finale. Whatever. I'm gonna speed things up. After the 5v5 finale, there was supposed to be 10v10 male and 5v5 female and bunch of duels also, and it was just chaos, scramble. I can't even write this down and have exact times because I can't even get to the proper times because they weren't written anywhere. We just had to have someone constantly going to the marshals asking, is it gonna happen? When is it gonna happen? Or write into the captain's chat, be ready by this time, be ready by this time. And they kept dragging it on. If they said, okay, we have a 3-hour delay, you can put the armor down, and be ready in 3 hours. That would be fine. Like it wouldn't be great, but we could work with that. But no, they kept saying, in 1 hour you can start fighting. So you're not gonna undress the armor for 1 hour of wait. And then they said another 1 hour and another 1 hour. So the point is that after about 5 hours of sleep, being ready in armor at 9 o'clock, we finished the fights at around 10 p.m. again. And we couldn't even finish the 10v10 finale because they ran out of medics.
Yeah.
So, and then like we just for the 4th day we just said we can't take this anymore. We're not coming on the 4th day. It's done.
Yeah. And you weren't the only teams that did.
There was a lot of teams that did that.
There were some teams that chose to do that in 10s, for example. I know England, chose to pull out of the 10s, but stayed in the 16s. Some teams just didn't show up for the 16s and pulled out. Yeah.
So just to sum it up, that was about 12 to 13 hours in armor. And at that day, we are talking 3rd day now, it was raining like torrential rain at some points. And as there was no cover, we were sitting under the rain for who knows how long. People were getting sick. Just horrible experience. And when I arrived back to my ubication to find out if like what's gonna happen, are we gonna go there on the day 4 or not? So I can share my my national captain some information about that, so he can make the decision. We found out that like 80% of IMCF board resigned, and the Danish organizers with the castle and the castle, they kicked IMCF out of the organizing of this event, and they were gonna run it themselves.
Yeah, for day 4. Yeah.
For day 4. So just what was this shit show, man? I don't understand it. And that's just timing and the fighter experience. Now we can get to the marshalling. So the marshalling was atrocious, absolutely horrible. There were so many fights decided by marshals. Like how many people are marshals gonna sit for some bullshit, or how is someone gonna cheat and get away with it? It was horrible. And the reason for this was that vast majority of marshals, in my opinion, had, from what I've heard, had like 1 day crash course or something like that, because they didn't have enough marshals for that many nations.
Yeah.
So I'm not even blaming the marshals. I'm blaming the organization that they let them in, and they weren't ready for that.
Yeah.
Okay, so does this make any sense? Was I rambling too much?
No, I mean, obviously you live the experience. I obviously had a different side of it. I wasn't at the event, but I am the national rep for England, Scotland, and Wales. So I was in the same national reps chat that you were in, where we were getting information fed through, being armour for this time. And obviously our captains for England, Scotland, and Wales were in that group as well. And they're getting told to be ready for a time, and then update, we're delayed by this, and this is going to happen tomorrow. We've got to stop because we haven't got enough light. We've run out of daylight. And, so it's, I'm going to say this, and people will know me as a prominent figure for BI, right?
Yeah.
It's a shame that a World Championships that was that well attended, with that caliber of competition, because the duelists, the pro fighters, all of the nations that turned up were world class, top notch competition that you want to find yourself amongst. And it's a shame that it was the organizational aspects of the event that let it down and let everybody down who was, a fighter, a marshal, event staff, or just a spectator or support. Because as much as, like I've said, I am part of BI, an event of that caliber and of that size is a community event. It brings together the best of the best from around the world. And, it really is a shame that it was the deficiencies, obviously, from the organizational point of view, that's left a really bad taste in a lot of people's mouths. And obviously, I've had feedback from fighters and support from England and Scotland and Wales about it, being the president of our association and the rep. I've obviously seen some of the more public discourse that other people have put out there from all around the world. And like you say, that it's going to be difficult, I think, given the circumstances around how the event came to kind of finish, to really get to the bottom of what the problems were and who and or where they stemmed from.
Well, they are now saying that they will form independent committee that will investigate what happened and stuff like that. Even if that happens, like, honestly, in my opinion, it doesn't really matter anymore. Like, okay, maybe I would like to know where all the money went that they pulled out of the fighters, because it definitely, from what I saw, if it went to the list and stands and medics, okay, but if that was really that expensive, I'm fine with it. But if it wasn't, the money weren't possible to see anywhere else if the venue was for free. So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of questions that need to be answered, and I think there's a lot of people that will be disillusioned significantly by an event like that, the way it was run. I'm speaking from some of our fighters. We had fighters there that were going for the experience of being at a World Championships for the first time, that haven't done it before. And for that to be their only experience of a World Championship really doesn't say good things.
Yeah.
And obviously we had very experienced fighters that have been around the world 10 times over to Battle of the Nations, BL, BI, IMCF previously, who have just gone, from their point of view, we wouldn't do that again.
Yeah.
And I think it's, I will give some credit to say that organizing an event of that size, where you've got 500 to 600 fighters plus support staff, you're talking 1,000 people, rough number, 1,000 people, is not an easy thing to do. It isn't. And anybody that tells you that it is a liar, right?
It's not.
And I think everybody expects at every event, regardless of its size, that there will be unforeseen circumstances. There may be delays, but this was an event that was at least 12 months in the making from the USA IMCF last year. So it definitely should have been significantly better.
Yeah, and regarding, it's not easy to organize. It's definitely not.
No.
I'm not saying that by no means,
Mhm.
but they were actively preparing for it
Mhm.
since at least I think January.
Mhm.
And in the chat on the Discord, like for national representatives,
Yeah.
they it was so corporate in its planning. Like
Mhm.
I'm surprised they didn't want it our shoe sizes. Like it they wanted to know everything and we provided that information, and then you would think, okay, they have pretty much exact number of fighters, exact number
Mhm.
of supporters. Like where do you make those mistakes? And then, for instance, you asked on that chat that you are hearing some rumors that
Mhm.
there is not enough shade and space for fighters.
Yeah.
Nobody answered. S-
Well, I did get an answer. I actually got two answers, and I got two different answers
hmm,
from two people that were responsible for organizing the event. I
okay.
got one answer that said we don't know the answer, basically, and I got one that said there will be seating and shade provided for the stage team, so the teams that are staged ready to fight, and that was basically it. Now, I'd heard that rumor from people who'd also heard that rumor, and I asked the question on the 14th of July, so maybe 2 weeks before the event,
Hmm,
just to
about.
try and understand whether as an organization, I needed to then try and do something for our fighters to make sure they're at least aware. And with the answers that we got, it was kind of like, what can you do at that point?
Not much.
Not much, exactly. But yeah, I mean,
I mean, as an
it's a
organizer,
shame.
you can do a lot. You can, okay, it's not gonna look nice, but you can hire those beer tents and put them
Hmm.
somewhere where they aren't on the cameras and in the direct like vision of
Yeah,
the visitors.
I think the problem that you've got mainly is the failure with the schedule, because I know they were using Smooth Comp. The
Mm,
fighters all had to register individually on Smooth Comp, right? And
yeah.
then they had to be allocated either whether they're in a team or whether they were dueling in what category or pro fights or whatever. And from what I was told on the first day, which was Thursday for the
Mm,
dueling and the pro fights, like 2 or 3 hours in, that system just wasn't working
yeah.
for one reason or another. Um, which then leads to more issues, right? Because if your online computerized schedule fails and you don't have a physical Google sheet or a paper copy, you can't just pick up where it stops and
I
keep
think they
things
had
moving.
had Google copy of that.
Well, I know that people obviously volunteered to step in and try and help.
Hmm.
Big shout out Dusty. I know Dusty put some miles in of his own accord, and he was there to support his own nation as the Netherlands. And I know other people did as well. And those people need to be praised. But
Yeah.
organizationally, the issues with the schedule and the delays then means you can't adequately plan and prepare space for people,
Yeah. And also
because all of a sudden
you,
you've got everybody together, right? There's
yeah.
too many people that you're trying to get things done for, and you don't have adequate provision.
Yeah, well, basically, when you say, okay, we're gonna adjust the schedule so we can move the fights that were from yesterday to
Hmm.
this point, then you have like basically every single fighter that attends, unless there are some specialty fighters just for 16s and 10s, you
Hmm.
have them there for the whole day.
Hmm.
So and also
Yeah.
then it comes down also again to marshalling, that you don't have experienced marshals, they do a lot of mistakes, and
Hmm.
those mistakes will be appealed. So
Yes.
that's again, you are backsliding like crazy. And what happened then was that basically they were denying pretty much every single appeal
Hmm.
with some exceptions.
Hmm.
And like for instance, one of our appeals, there was a marshal standing by the list where the thing that we wanted to appeal happened.
Hmm.
She didn't step in right at that very moment, but after the fight, she came to us and said, "Oh, I made a mistake. This should have been called. Please go. You should go and appeal it." That marshal said that, and we went to the appeal tent, and they said we don't accept the appeal. And I understand they had no time for it, but that's it's not very competition wise right. I don't know. It's crazy. And yeah, so that was a disaster, and of course hopefully there is some resolution to that, and they will be able to find where that mistake is and what caused it, who caused it, or if it even matters, like whatever.
I mean, it matters. It matters in the sense of if IMCF continues to exist.
That's my point, because I don't think they will continue. If they will continue, it will be for C, G tier teams that wouldn't be able to present themselves on any other stage. And at that point, I don't know, anything will make them happy just because they can attend.
I understand that. I mean, if it continues to exist, these issues can't be repeated again. Like there were issues around Belmonte, there were issues around Mexico, there were issues around the USA last year, and then obviously for anybody who wants to look, you'll find lists and lists of issues around this year.
And that's
the challenge is that organization, as it was, organized one event a year, and it was a World Championships. And if that organization continues to exist as we move forwards, that can't be repeated for anyone again. Like it just can't. And you're right. I think a lot of people and a lot of countries will have lost faith in obviously the organization itself, and maybe the people that were in charge of that organization for this event and previous. But it can't be something that just gets left and goes silent over a couple of months. It needs to be lessons learned, understanding where the issues were, reevaluating what the problems were, you know, why there weren't enough medics, why did our system not work for the schedule, or whatever it may be. And you know, if there is any kind of commitment going forwards for anybody to do another IMCF event and for them to host another one, if the organization continues to exist, they need to really, really make sure that doesn't happen again. Because I don't know about you, but I've been obviously the rep for England, Scotland and Wales in the IMCF now for the last 3 years. I had to sit through lengthy meetings about the issues from Mexico and what was supposedly learned and what was not going to happen again on the next one in the USA. And then the same again happened there. Issues, maybe different issues, some similar issues, but these were the mistakes we made. These are the reasons why. We're not going to repeat this again. We're going to Denmark. We've got Denmark on board. And then this.
Yeah.
Like, there's only so much, so many times it can be yeah, we made mistakes, but we've learned our lesson. Oh, but we've made mistakes again. We've learned our lesson. And it's challenging. It is challenging. And like I say, I'm not taking anything away from the fact that organizing an event of that size is difficult. I know it is. Been there, did it for BI World Champs last year, and it was not without its issues. We had issues, but we managed to deal with them. For IMCF going forwards, if it continues to exist and it's still supported and it stays there, whoever is going to get put in the hot seat of the board really need to have a massive amount of experience in being able to plan events, schedule events, deliver events, and not only that, be actively engaged on the ground in dealing with problems. Because I've heard different things from different people about different individuals that probably should have been solving problems and were choosing to do other things at the event than solve problems. And when that happens, when the leadership don't try and solve problems or try and absolve themselves and leave it to other people, that causes issues.
Issues are always going to happen at any scale of event.
Exactly.
It's about how you pivot, how you deal with it.
Yeah, and you know, we'll see. I mean, like I say, it's a shame because I watched a lot of the live stream. I watched a lot of the pro fights, you know, of the camera angles that were given to us on the stream. I watched a lot of the pro fights. I watched as much of the duels as I could. I watched as much back of like the 5s and 10s that I could because I was at this event. I was at Severnside for the Saturday, and then I watched on the Sunday. Like I'm still a fan of the sport, and I was interested to watch how my friends and my compatriots were doing at this event. And for me, sat at home, I'm like, this is just it's sad that they had to experience that for that level of event. But it's even more sad because the level of competition that I watched was great. So, you know, the most well-attended World Championships for IMCF that they've had since before COVID, I think it's safe to say.
That's what I wanted to get to, is that, in my opinion, if I had to take a guess why it was such a disaster, is because it was so well attended. The problem, you mentioned there were problems at other in previous championships, and I was this year representative for Czech Republic, and we never before attended IMCF championship, so this was our first. And I've heard there was like some issues, but nothing like I haven't heard about anything too major. So, well, up until it was too late to do anything about it. But in my opinion, the problem was that the issues were basically the same, but this event was like 5 times bigger than the previous ones, because BI didn't have championship. It was in Europe. At pretty well reachable place, and everybody wanted to attend. So they suddenly it blew up for them, and they weren't ready for it. They probably thought they were ready for it, but they weren't. And everything, like at that event, it seemed to me like if this was like a quarter or fifth of the teams, it would be okay. But it wasn't. And they knew how many teams are going to attend well ahead of time. And they failed to prepare for it. So that's where it all came from. That's where the Marshall issue came from. They had to basically take anyone who was willing to go, give them hopefully at least some training, not just like here are the rules, read them and come in yellow. But yeah, well, and even the experienced marshals, like, how do you... I don't know about many IMCF tournaments, to be honest. I only know about like tiny tournaments in Europe. Like, I think maybe 3, something like that. And maybe something is happening in USA and Latin America. But it's not too many tournaments. You cannot get really good experience as you can with BI marshals, and with them splitting the rules, like it's not unified rule set for all the Buhurt. You cannot have really experienced marshals for your tournament, and just everything just bubbled up to the surface. The more teams attended, you know. I just don't see future for IMCF. I'm sorry. I don't want to be mean. I would love to have as many tournaments as we can, and some healthy competition between IMCF and BI would be nice. Of course, there are arguments that we are too small of a sport to have 2 organizations. That's fine. I think if we would be moving forward, which I don't think we will be, but if we would be moving forward with 2 organizations, they at least have to have unified rule set, and then the difference is how you organize the tournaments. One is like a little bit more historical, the other one isn't. Whatever, but yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, and again, like we say, if you're listening to this and you were there and you've got your own perspectives and feedback, feel free comment on the videos, give us some feedback, join the Discord, give us your views and your opinions.
Yeah.
Like I said, I was watching from afar, but I was more involved, at least seeing some of the admin side, being in the national reps chat, seeing what was being said at what times, and so on.
Yeah.
Obviously,
I especially want to know about the female side,
Mhm.
the experience of that, because that was way worse than we had it,
Mhm.
and ours was already pretty bad. And
Yeah.
from the duelist side, because
Yeah.
part of the discourse that I saw is that the duels were just atrociously marshaled, that the points weren't fitting at all, and it wasn't by like 3 points there, 3 points there, but like
Mhm.
15 or so at some fights. So yeah, let us know about that in the comments,
Yep.
and let's. I think I rambled enough. Let's just close this chapter and say that well, for me, I'm sorry, but I don't want IMCF to continue. I don't
Mm.
want anyone else to have to go through this, especially if it's their first world championship, and
Mhm.
especially like from the perspective of, I don't know, for me it was 12 hours in car one way. That's
Mhm.
fine. Like, I don't know, €1,000 spent on it in
Mhm.
total for hotel and stuff. I can live with that. But like someone coming over from Brazil or Chile, if they are especially not high earners in their
Mhm.
society, and this is their first world championship or one they can attend every like 3 or 4 years,
Mhm.
and it turns out to be this, no, not again.
Yeah. Mhm. Yeah. And like I say, only time will tell. Obviously, as we
Mm.
said, the president has resigned. The vice president resigned on day 3 of the event to step back. The head marshal, who was a director, has resigned. The majority of the board and officers have resigned post the event. There's still a few. So the organization has its own challenges at the minute, but the biggest one is that it owes, a duty to the community that attended that event to really have a transparent review of what the issues are,
Yep.
and allow the community to decide the future of the organization. If the community decides to back that organization, cool. That's obviously the community's will and intent. But if that's the case, whoever takes the reins of that organization, the new board, the new officers, need to be 100% committed to make sure that this doesn't happen again.
Yep.
Ever. So yeah, it was a shame to see. And like I say, people are going to probably sit there and go, well, he's part of BI, he's biased. I'm a fan of the sport. I've fought in tournaments that were IMCF rules back in the day. When I first started in the sport, it was a little bit more prevalent. I've never done an IMCF myself. I've never wanted to, in fairness, but I fought under the rule set, and I want everybody who goes to events to have a good event, a good time, good memories. And sadly for this one, it seems like a lot of people are coming away with a lot of negatives. Let's talk about some positives, though.
Yeah.
I wasn't as biased as people made it out on Instagram, right?
Yeah.
I did my dueling picks, and I did my pro
Mhm.
fight picks, and I went through last night, and I didn't do too bad. I was about 60% correct on both pro fights and duels in terms of countries that I thought would medal. I think I was like 19 out of 30 possible podiums I got on the duels, and something like 23 out of 36 on the pro fights. As you've said, some people publicly have alluded to the fact that they were not happy with marshalling or counting. Some people calling things egregious in terms of the way decisions were made or appeals were denied. But I didn't do so bad.
Yeah, it's a pretty good score. and
Yeah.
let's see if we can keep up with it in the Way of Honor predictions.
Yeah, let's see whether we can.
I don't know if I will predict myself to win the gold there. But I would love to, but
Yeah.
well,
Why not?
yeah. Well, with that, my team, we didn't do any all-stars. We just went as a club, and we finished fourth in 5 versus 5. Obviously, I was
Yep.
hoping for better result, but it turns out training technique and your physical preparedness isn't enough. You also have to train the mental durability, mental toughness.
Yeah.
And that was our weak spot on that event, I would say. And then we finished third in 10 versus 10, and obviously we didn't attend 16 versus 16. So not the result I wanted, but could be worse. When you think of it, we were defeated by all-star teams, and we defeated Dragoons, which is pretty good scalp to have under your belt. And so that was fine. I just wish when we were defeated, we would be defeated that I cannot say anything else other than that team was better.
Yeah.
But now it pisses me off that when I think about it, that it wasn't really, the win wasn't only in our hands or our opponent's hands. It was also in some other factors in there. So
yeah,
whatever. Let's I will now get over myself and look at
Hey,
the gold
look,
match.
Look, fourth in 5 versus 5 at this level of event. It's not the result that you wanted, but you can still come away and go, there's positives that we can take out of that as a team, right?
Yeah. And fucking Polish fighters. God damn it. We beat you every single time throughout the year, like 6 times in a row or whatever, and then you take it here.
Yep.
You're gonna catch these later. I love you guys.
Well, that's the love of the sport, right? Yeah. Who's better on the day? Like you say, there might have been some other factors, but other people were also in the same list, right? With
yeah,
the same
it's another aspect of the sport. As I said, they were tougher mentally and more durable mentally, and that's what won them the fights. I in my perspective. So and it's not taking anything from them. That's you guys being better on that day. Congratulations to everyone who medaled, who defeated us. I hope to take that win away from you later, but for now, congratulations. You did really well.
Yeah.
So let's take a look at the gold match between Denmark and USA.
Yep. Shout out to Salapis for this footage.
Yes.
Sammy rocking around all weekend. Could see him list side on the stream, trying to video as much as he could. So thank you very much for this. Obviously, we'll give it a good watch. So yeah, let's get into it. So we've got USA 1 Soldados with a few additions against Iron Wolves.
Yep, I'm just gonna adjust my camera a bit. Okay. I will mute it, but obviously a lot of cheering for the Danish team, the hometown team. And here, really like dynamic cross from Joseph Brandt.
Yep.
Unfortunately, it didn't work out for him.
He actually got tripped by the list fighter, the rail fighter. He did a really good job of just sticking a foot out there, catches his foot, and they immediately get the advantage. Obviously, they locked up with Johnny. They get a double, but now they at least have the power play.
And at this point, it's not horrible, or it's not really that bad for Danish guys to go 1-for-1, because the percentage keeps like the advantage keeps getting higher. The lower amount of fighters is left standing when you have one up. So not too bad, especially when you manage to get Johnny that way.
Yeah, and I mean, to be fair, it was a double, but it was actually a clean double. You know, the Iron Wolves fighter went for an outside leg pick. Johnny kind of turned it into an Uchimata, and they just both fell over. It wasn't a suicide.
No.
You know, It was as clean a double as you're probably going to get. Now, there's one thing that I actually really like from the Iron Wolves that I saw more in this round specifically is their free man does a lot of movement. So look, he's moving to try and pick and attack, and they trade off quite a lot. So you'll see there's a good disarm there with the body kick.
He kicked him out, kicked the weapon out of his hand. Nice.
Yeah, good disarm there. You know, solid kicks. And then at this point, there's another trade-off coming where, you know, he switches his targets again. They're aiming for it. They get it. Great hump and bump. And now it's 2-2 on ones.
Yeah, so this thing was one of the most inconsistent at the whole tournament. When do you leave the fighter standing after a takedown and when you don't?
Yeah, because I don't think it's written in the IMCF rules about the being able to touch the ground like it is in BI. If you throw someone, it is.
It
right,
is, but
okay.
it's not. It's very much on the interpretation of the marshal.
Okay.
Or at least that's how it seemed here, because you could have done clean takedown and you will get seated, and you could have leaned and you didn't get seated.
Right, okay.
Didn't matter, to be honest. It was just how the marshal saw it. So this is the type of fighting I thought Iron Wolves would be going for, which is they have really strong one-on-ones, and when they get the advantage, they just slowly and methodically keep breaking the opponent down. They don't really do much like running from one place to another. They just grind you down with their wrestling, chaining the takedown attempts. If this one doesn't work, the other one will.
But there's also a very dynamic, powerful striking element to their style.
Especially punches and like Muay Thai elements of
very Muay Thai-esque. Yeah, there's a lot of kicks that you don't normally see. There's a lot of knees. There is a lot of trading off, and it's really good to see, to be fair.
And if I seen correctly, they didn't swap anyone out.
I don't think they did.
So they have very strong 5 core. Okay, round 2. Same setup, but Joseph doesn't go for the charge this time. And what he does is that he holds his axe with in his buckler so he can punch properly.
But he does a really, really good job of basically snatching this front head position there. Now, I can't see whether the Iron Wolves fight was actually going for anything with the legs, but Johnny actually gets an absolutely beautiful harai in a second. As Joseph, watch, whoa, like effortless, weightless, pure technique. Oomph.
And he helps himself with his like. Also, it's pretty hard to do that in armor, to kick the leg up to get like even more torque on the hip.
So now they're 2 up. So this is a difficult position now for Iron Wolves, but not one that they're not, you know, able to deal with.
And really good work from Iron Wolf there.
Yeah,
he knew that he has to push it.
Yeah, he is unfortunate in how he ends up. Obviously, the USA fighter manages to keep hold.
This was into a pretty painful spot. Ay.
Oh yeah, nice in the hip.
Yeah, like 1 centimeter lower, and that could be counted as a groin shot. This was clean.
Punches to the butt.
Break his posture.
He does a very good job of getting his head out to the side, though.
Nice attempt to front kick him.
Yeah, Johnny was flying all weekend with those flying knees.
Yeah, but I meant from the Iron Wolf.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That was a good defense for him.
Yeah.
On most of the people that would work, not on Johnny probably, but that's a good way to stop someone charging you, if you can see.
Mm-hmm. A lot of strikes going into the arse.
And the
He's doing
crowd
it.
also keeps pushing the Danish guys, so they gave that defense all they could.
Yep. So 1-1. Tense finale. Home team advantage. Crowd. 1 round each.
And again,
So
no swaps.
no, they do. I think they do swap the guy on the second over there.
Yeah, there we go.
There you go. And I think the guy over in the corner, I think he's holding himself to be checked, potentially. Okay, here we go, round 3. Nice big push again by Joseph.
They get pretty deep in here, which is where you don't want to have Johnny able to attack you from the side or from the back.
Mm-hmm.
That's X on the neck. They were also sitting people for this. Nice push.
Very good push. I think that might have been Kyle Olsen, I think. So now USA have got the numbers. So this coming up's an interesting one. That so he gets sat for using. Am I right in saying he's getting sat because he's using a single-handed weapon with 2 hands?
I don't think. Maybe. I don't know how.
It was either that or a shot down the spine.
Yes,
I know
I think it's more the shot down the spine, but
Okay.
you can see it's not really vertical and it's not on the spine, so that would be an easy appeal. Or, well, it wouldn't be hard to decide if to go for appeal, but hard to have them accept it. But yeah.
And there was a good takedown there in the background.
Yeah,
I
luckily
think that
for
was
them.
by Alex. There you go. But
Nice
again, another good attempt.
The Danes keep working, like they don't just turtle up in bad position. They keep trying to chain techniques. And that takes a lot of stamina, so they are extremely well physically prepared.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's a difficult position to be in as well with Johnny on your back. I know he kind of thinks he's pinned in the corner, but he's very difficult to deal with. Yeah, there it is. Breaks the posture. Johnny manages to get it. Right here.
Nice.
There it is.
So what he did is a counter for a move that I don't think would work for the Danish guy. But again, you just have to try something when you are in that position. So Johnny kind of lifted him on his knee with his thighs, and then moved away, so he just slid down.
Yeah.
And in BI, I would counter that is if I was the Danish guy by grabbing the edge of the rail.
Yeah.
But you cannot do this here, so he had really not
Yeah,
much of a way to defend that.
The Iron Wolves fighter went for the outside trip. He got the leg across, and you could see he had the underhook, so he was trying to lean into it.
Yeah, but the
because of
outside
where
trip,
Johnny was.
yeah, the outside trip
Yeah,
wouldn't work in my opinion because you have to you need space for that on this side, and there are bodies here, so
yeah. But
he
because
had
of
to
where
try
Johnny
something.
actually had his hand placement, as soon as he felt the pressure, he was able to sink his hips, which then kept the leg up, and then just used that to twist and obviously drag him to the floor. So really, really good fight. World-class teams, world-class fighters.
Beautiful display of chaining techniques from both teams.
Yeah, and also, fighting against adversity, because that was not the ideal start for the US.
Yep.
And then they come back, they managed to take round 2 pretty easily, actually, in terms of the amount of time it took them to getting those 2 initial takedowns. And then even with numbers down, the Iron Wolves didn't, like you say, they didn't just back into a corner and try and shell up a little bit. They were still trying to get takedowns, trying to get trips, trying to improve positions, protect teammates. Like, great to watch. And obviously Denmark went on to win the 16s as well, so great for them on home soil.
So congratulations to the Soldados. I think that this was their first outing on the world stage as a team. Obviously they had some mercenaries from other US clubs, so it was a little bit of an all-star, not a complete all-star.
Yeah.
But really strong team, also a great bunch of guys, really nice talking to them. And I really hope that they will come to BI World Championship next year, if possible, so we can match up against them again and hopefully take that win this time, because we fought them in semifinals. I unfortunately wasn't selected for that fight.
Yeah.
But it was a really nice fight. And they were fair. They are just a good bunch of guys to fight. Just beautiful Buhurt from both teams. Love it. Okay, so let's make a fake line behind IMCF and not talk about them ever again. Unless you want us to, let us know.
Yeah,
if there are some other experiences we should mention, or some development in what's happening with the IMCF and the investigation. If you want us to cover it, let us know. If not, let's just all agree to stop beating a dead horse. Right, so let's move to Severnside. Tell us about that tournament.
Yeah, so brand new tournament for the UK, being hosted by Armoured Combat Gloucester. Really good event. We had, I think it was 10 men's teams.
I think I read 11.
11 men's teams, and then because a lot of the women were away at IMCF, there were women's 3v3s, which happened obviously first. But yeah, 2 groups. Most of the UK teams were there, obviously with other teams or other fighters that were off at IMCF. But all in all, a really good event, really good day. And I think a good first event for Gloucester, who were hosts and organisers. I mean, it went that well. We finished about an hour and a half ahead of the schedule. So,
then that's the better option.
Yeah, it was really good. So I've picked a few fights from this. We're going to start off with ACG 1 against ISCA 1. This was a really good fight. ACG obviously being the home team, they had 2 teams in this, 1 in each group. But this would also go on to be the 3rd place fight later on. So they got to meet each other and fight each other twice. But let's give it a watch.
And this is the first time in the groups, right?
Yeah, and I was in this group. you know, the Wolves were in this group. We had a horrible time. We didn't win any of our fights. And each one of these teams were on point. And I mean on point. Like,
from what I saw, I didn't see everything, but the fights I saw, they were really, really high level. Even if you take into account that the best fighters, or most of the best fighters, were at the Denmark. So
yeah,
so everybody stepped up their game, and it's really nice fights to watch.
yeah, for sure.
And again, thank you for the footage to Buhurt UK.
Yep. Thanks to Martin and Jonathan, who helped put the stream together.
All right, let's get to it. So we see, if I remember correctly, AGC usually goes for this dynamic starts, and
They normally like to run.
this was a nice bait. I think they were preparing for it. Maybe if he was a little bit more dynamic with the push, he could have taken him down.
Yeah.
But then again, he knew about him, so maybe he prepared for it, braced for
Yeah.
it. And I think their idea was that he will take the attention, he will get charged from the side, and the number 2 will use that attention for his own charge.
Yep.
So no takedowns from that, but really nice field movement.
Yep. But he continued his break. He runs. He
And he
picks
just
another target.
danced out of it. Nice.
Yep. Turns out of it, gets away, and Josh continues his run. Gets a good rip from behind, and manages to get the initial takedown.
So that was a masterclass movement from AGC. I really like that. Is it 4-4 now? When did this happen?
No, it's still 5-4 at the minute.
So he was gauntlet here.
Yep. So he had an armor failure, gauntlet comes off, so then it goes 4-4. Some good transition and some good movement, just trying to get from one place to the next.
Good job not letting the striker chop.
Yep.
But he kind of lost the ball here. But notices it. Nice use of the body. Really nice. Tries to help his mate up.
Yeah.
But almost pays for it. But the idea is good. You always want to help your mate before going for a takedown. Going for a takedown yourself.
Yeah.
And yeah, really good use of bodies from AGC.
Yep. And there was a double just down here that happened, but that was end to the first round.
So yeah, really, how do you call it? Cerebral fighting from AGC.
Yeah. So
Again,
another run
slick
there.
Movement. One for one.
Yeah, initial double. Bodies.
So this charge might have looked not so great, but when you look at it closer, it's actually a pretty solid move, because if you would go for a head rip, you would drag your mate also. So he shoulder charged him, and by that he kind of managed to get his teammate's head up.
Yep.
So that's the better version. Better option, and also a good use of bodies here, but he couldn't stay up. But the idea was good.
So I think we're down 3. We're at 3-3 at the minute. Good head snap.
Yeah, and even
Recovery.
just a constant applying of the pressure on the neck, it
Mhm.
tires you out. So if you can get any other movement or position, just maintaining that probably gives you some opening at some other point. So yeah, good work there. Nice escape on the other side.
Mhm.
Everybody looks pretty tired now.
Yep.
Yeah, these guys' neck muscles are gonna hurt tomorrow
Yep, for
or
sure.
the day after. He just
Where are we
keeps
going?
yanking on that neck.
Yeah. Oh, unlucky.
Yeah, yeah. If he didn't hold him, that he positioned
Yeah.
him well for a charge.
Yep.
But yeah, he had a tight grip.
Mhm.
But even then, like you are risking a lot by this.
Yeah.
Because then, if he just rotated hips to the side from this position and let go of the grip, the AGC fighter probably would have gone down by just leaning so heavily back there. But who knows? So just for how would I approach this struggle here? I like actually being in this position of the Iska fighter, because everybody, especially when you are fighting really well taller people than you are, they try to get you into this headlock.
Yep.
And so my helmet is pretty slippery, so I try to get them into that position, push on their back or on their shoulder.
Yeah.
If possible, block their leg, but it's not necessary. But that's like just securing the good thing, and push them out as I pop out, and they usually fall face first.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you cannot get that for some reason, you will not get out by rotating your butt backwards. If he has some, like, I don't know, he's gripping your grail or something, you just cannot get out. You don't want to keep going backwards. You actually want to rotate towards him or to the side of him, like one leg here,
Yeah.
and kind of like squat him, you could say. Like slide your head over his chest, and now you are standing.
Yeah.
Because that's where you are the strongest, and it doesn't matter how strong his arm is, he's just not gonna be able to defeat your two legs with his one arm.
Yeah. See, I prefer the other position that Josh is in with the headlock, especially in this position, because the Iska fighter's actually pinned against the list, so he can't back away. So that pressure in is strong. But what I like to try and do is step across. So I try and step, as you're looking at Josh, what we would see as his left foot would be my right foot in that position. I try and step my right foot to the outside of his leg and scrape him over that foot.
Yep.
So I'm stepping to the outside of his foot so he can't step over my leg, and then I'm leaning him over that foot to push him effectively to the left as we're looking at it, which would be the right in reality from there.
So yeah, he definitely has the better position. There's no argument about that. I'm just saying, if you are in this position, you still have good options.
Yeah, you've got options, but you've got to scramble for it, and you've got to really work for it.
And you can be choking on your straps. Can be uncomfortable.
Yeah.
All right, so Both go down, and we got 1-on-1 here.
Yep. And that heavy neck pressure again.
Mm-hmm. You just have to be careful not to go under the helmet.
Yep. Good twist.
Mm-hmm. And he tried to trip him there also.
There
Nice.
it is.
Good job, AGC. That was really nice fight you got.
Yeah,
All
very,
right.
very good fight.
So next up we have GSB versus White Company.
Yep.
That's 4650. There we go.
Yeah.
So again, similar start as we saw in the first round from AGC.
Yep.
Now by White Company.
Disarm.
And that's beautiful throw right here.
It's a very, very good throw. And what's ironic, or even better, is that Dan, who did the throw, is throwing his coach, JP, who fights on White Company.
Nice.
So JP is doing a great job of training some of these boys up in Scotland, up in Aberdeen, as is Rory, the team captain. You know, they're training regularly. But yeah, Dan got the MVP at this event for the men. We're only going to see one fight with him in it, but there was a reason why he got it on the day. Like, his performance was,
I want to see it again.
Very, very good.
I want to see it again. That's beautiful.
So he kind of does he's got like a head and arm throw by look.
And you can, especially with armor, you cannot get out of this.
Yeah.
And
so
you are stretched
really
out, your position is broken. So, yeah.
And then just drags him round.
Because he tries to escape, like go away from him, but it only breaks his posture further. So, yeah, really good job there.
And then he realizes, yeah, probably better off going somewhere else. So now they've got the numbers advantage in this round.
So this striking does nothing. So sorry to say that, but that's waste of time and energy. So tell me, when fighting at this type of tournaments in UK, how do you look at hitting the gaps? The gaps, obviously, those that are possible and easy to cover. Let's say ass, back of the thighs, shoulders, stuff like that. Is it frowned upon? Are you an asshole if you do that, or?
It depends who's doing it. So I came away from this event with a very sore ass and hip from the Iska fight, the very first fight that we had. Didn't feel it at the time or anything, but like the morning after, I'm like, someone's hit me in the ass. And then, you will see people in the UK aiming for your ass, the back of your thigh, the inside of your elbow. It's more now than it has ever been, I think. I mean, it didn't used to be as prevalent, but like it's now there's more of a chance of you getting hit in the ass in the UK. Like I now wear an ass plate, and I've never worn one in this sport up until this year. So, even fighting all the events I've been to, especially in the UK. So yeah, gap shots still happen. They're not necessarily frowned upon.
So why I'm asking that is that he now goes away to help here, but what I would do, he has really exposed his thighs here.
Mhm.
So I would chop that up rather than go and try to head rip here and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because he knows about you. He's not in a
Mhm.
bad clinch with this guy.
Mhm.
It's gonna be tough head rip to get.
Yeah.
Oh, something's happening here. 1-for-1.
Yeah. So yeah, it's not necessarily frowned upon, but obviously it's not nice.
Hmm.
There's a hold going on. And the refight, there we go. There we go.
Nice drag down.
Yep.
So, probably a bit surprising to have GSB win this one.
Yeah, I mean, let's be honest. Obviously, it wasn't a full strength white company as you would normally expect because some of them were at IMCF. However, Barney's still there, JP's still there. Jake hasn't done his stripes yet, but he's been fighting consistently in White Company 2 and up to White Company 1 at international events and medaling with the team. Luke's there, who again, solid White Company fighter. Like it's not a White Company team that is a pushover by any means. So that was a good win for GSP.
I now know the team you spoke about, the coached by JP. It's Three Towers. I can see it here.
Yes.
I remember.
Yep. Good takedown there. Forward head drag on the other side of the list. Gets it. That's Jake.
Nice.
Did a very, very good job there. JP got a very good throw back on Dan there in return. Outside trip. Drags the arm. Another very good. Unlucky that he didn't keep his feet, but Jake got a very good head pull.
So 1-1.
1-1. So very strong stiff arm. Right on the right hand side.
Nice.
Bang.
Wow.
Even if you watch JP, he kind of goes, what? So GSB again now have numbers. It's just all about trying to make it count at this point. JP gets a good disarm.
That wasn't the best decision here. Let's be honest.
No. Trying to head rip while she mates, got the headlock. But JP actually, solid strike to the inside of the arm. Gauntlet comes off. And then he goes and chops Dan right in the back of the thigh. Which hurts. Here we go. Chop. And I'm sure in that moment, Dan knew exactly who had done it to him. Because JP does that quite a lot.
Yeah. I hope their training will not be extra spicy now.
All's fair in love and competition, right? So Barney's doing a good job in that corner. Barney's just managing to isolate two people. Barney's got, for all intents and purposes, had two of them tied up, and then he manages to trip.
Yeah. And he kind of like, it kind of felt a little bit like, I don't want to say took a knee, but he probably had enough and wanted to drag Barney down with him, but that didn't work out for him too well. You shouldn't have that as your primary plan.
So now 2-on-1.
Took the offered head.
Good solid front headlock. Good kick of the leg. Good teamwork.
Yeah, don't have people. Don't take people down with you as your primary plan. I understand that you are tired, but especially when you are tired, it's probably not gonna end up well for you. Just lock the position, push him against the rail, take a breather, try to figure out something else.
Yeah.
Okay, so again, White Company, and now against ACG, sorry.
Yep. So this is semi-final 1. So this is obviously to determine who goes to the final and who's third and fourth place. But again, good movement from ACG straight off the back. If you look at that, it's very similar. One runs through, one
that's
follows.
kind of mirrored what they did before. They probably trained this exact move.
Yep. One runs, one follows.
And they are smaller than White Company, so movement is how you get it. And again, nice. Yeah. Nice track.
Good job.
And they keep moving. They don't stop at all.
No.
And that's how you win as a smaller team against. You just have to roll the dice. That's what they are doing here. Nice. But that's great techniques they do here. Like this leg pinch.
Yeah. He leg pinches and turns corner, and he just drags into the ground.
That's good. It's really nice technique. They really wanted the win on their home soil.
Yeah. They've got very, very good feet. Very good balance. So far left corner, keep an eye on that. So you've got Barney and Josh in there.
Ooh.
And that's as clean a throw you will ever see. And not only that, this is Barney, right? Like, not an easy man to take down at all.
Emotes right after.
Yeah.
Easy. Yeah.
Very clean takedown from Josh.
If I see correctly, what he did here is that he put his leg between his legs, lifted one of his legs up, and rotated.
Yeah, so he snatches the head because he's got the overhook. He blocks his back leg, so as he pulls him round, his back leg comes off the floor, and he just carries on pulling him round. And because he was in the corner, he didn't have to worry too much about being on one leg because he was being supported by the list. So really good takedown. And now 2 2v1s and kind of a 3-on-1 and a 2-on-1. So a very good round from Gloucester there. Again, movement's brilliant. The dynamic. They have got some bigger, stronger guys on the team now. They're not just all small in stature. So they've got some guys that can kind of grapple and hold their own and really dig in. And obviously, even the smaller guys are very capable in a 1-on-1 and, 2-on-1s.
Yeah, but really, the movement seems to be their strongest side.
Yep. There you go, though. So, similar kind of thing. Barney does a great outside trip on the fly. Josh follows him in.
Yeah, you just cannot ignore someone like that on your back. Like,
no.
You either have to push really quickly through the gap and turn out here and figure out what's gonna happen when you are at the other side.
Yeah.
But you cannot go halfway and start thinking, oh, what I'm gonna do now. It is kind of what he did, or what they did against Iska, and they got away with it there, but
Yep.
this is really experienced team. You're not gonna get away with that easily. So
No, Barney does a great job catching that outside trip on the fly.
but then he tried to like use at least his teammate's body to
Mhm.
push Barney, but
But Barney drags him over it.
yeah. So really, what White Company, what won the round from to how White Company got this round was Barney's situation awareness.
Yep. So Barney's got, you know, three of the takedowns at this point. Pulled it back around, and now it's picking targets. Larko goes down. So pulled it back around. Good performance. Obviously, everything's in the balance at this point.
Third round.
So there's a little bit more hesitancy for the running this time. Josh has managed to get through. Barney manages to close in pretty quickly.
Nice head rip. It's a pity he didn't manage to. He tried to go for it, but he didn't manage to isolate the leg. If he trapped the leg there, that would have been a takedown.
Yep.
But it's pretty hard to, you know, when you can't see down due to your helmet on your feet.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes hard to find that leg. Yeah.
So Barney manages to take Josh down as well on the list. So now they're 2 men up. JP loves going for the inside of the elbow. Oh, hold. I think they were being asked to move the axe. There we go.
Ooh.
Ass,
Back
thigh.
of the
There you go.
Yeah.
Yep. So that answers your question.
Okay. I see what you're doing there. Okay.
Yep. There we go.
But it's really nice to see British scene like being so developed, I would say, that even if you don't really go outside of UK that often, I mean, some of you do, but there's a lot of teams that just stay in Britain, but you can still get pretty good amount of tournaments in throughout the year, a lot of quality fights. So even the teams that don't measure up as much or don't go up against other European countries that often still manage to climb their level of fighting up and up and up.
Yeah, and obviously, I mean, this year we'll have 5 BI tournaments in the UK in our season, which is the most that we've ever had in a year. Normally it's 3 or 4, plus smaller club events that other clubs will do that aren't BI. So there's still obviously fighting going on. So we know the teams, we know each other really, really well. We know what each team's strengths are, who are really dangerous, who we may want to try and isolate. But what we're seeing is, regardless at each event, the level of each team is just continually rising. And that's just through obviously the team's efforts, training together consistently. And I think one thing that we have in the UK, which is a really, really good thing, is we have quite big communal national trainings. So, you know, not everybody from every club, but a good cross selection of people that fight internationally will go to national trainings and learn techniques and learn new spins on things. And then that information gets taken back to the clubs, and the clubs then work on it. And people are learning the skills and developing. So yeah, we're seeing a lot of the teams' levels just it's not like it used to be where you had, you know, maybe 3 or 4 teams that were the top teams, and everybody else was fighting for the rest of the places. Now, on any given tournament, if you have a bad day, you're going to lose all of your fights. Do you know what I mean? Like if you don't show up and you don't perform as a team. So yeah.
Yep. Yeah, and iron sharpens iron, and it really shows here that yeah, it's anyone's game.
Yeah.
All right, so finals, am I right?
Yeah. Finals. So Invicta won all of their groups. Went
And
on.
White Company fielded 2 teams here?
Just one.
Just one. Okay.
So Invicta had Invicta 1 and 2. White Company just had White Company. White Company won. Obviously, both fought through, got to the finals. Invicta ended up beating ACG in the semi-final. ISCA won in the semis. So the 3rd and 4th place fight was between ACG 1 and ISCA 1, which was a replay of obviously the group fight earlier on. And then Invicta versus White Company. Now, Invicta did beat White Company in the group as well. So they were both in the same group. So, yeah.
So let's see how the finals go. Nice flank here.
Yep.
And even if you don't get a takedown through that flank, you are kind of overloading the systems of the opponent, and they have to choose what to focus on, not just and are not able to just focus on their thing, which gives space to your teammates to try and do something. Nice.
Very good takedown by Steve there on Barney. Barney went for over the head and Steve stepped through for that kind of a modified version of a Tayatoshi. Wasn't a full Osoto, but it was a very, very good outside trip. Now, whilst that happened, JP actually managed to even the numbers, so he got a takedown against Invicta on the list.
And they pushed him.
Yep.
Yeah, it looks like they isolated both of his legs, one from each side, and just pushed him over.
And there's something I noticed that Invicta did really, really well, and I saw Seb, the shorter guy with the falchion, involved in it quite a lot. Do you remember when we did the episode where we were looking at Satakunta?
Yeah.
And in their 2-on-1s, they were effectively, one was acting as the leg whilst the other was acting as the leverage.
Yeah.
They did that really, really well in 2-on-1s where they had people going backwards and one of them would trip the leg whilst the other had the weight moving. Good takedown again there from
this is basically the same thing we talked about right now. He is acting as a block.
Yep.
And he kind of got pushed or needed to concentrate on 2 things, and he just created the blockage and pushed him over. So yeah, that's really nice teamwork from both Satakunta and Invicta. Nice.
And that was very well timed as well. Seb does a good job of pulling the axe down to break his posture. And then as his head pops up, boom, leg sweep. So as his momentum's and his power's coming back up and he thinks he's standing up straight, legs taken away. Very nice teamwork.
Really nice round from Invicta. So yeah, Invicta did everything really well here. They broke the ranks of White Company, overloaded their system, got individual takedown, and then just kept snowballing the power play. So really not much to say they should do better.
Seb goes again.
Barney now takes the... Whoa! What happened here?
He tripped over his own feet.
Black magic, I see.
Yep.
White Company just cannot lose. They have to resort to black magic if nothing else works.
We've all been there, though.
Yeah.
You kind of like, I'm sat here now watching this.
Disarm.
Good disarm.
He spun out. out of the headlock really well here.
Mm-hmm.
And this is how I remember White Company, honestly. Just creating a chaotic blob, and eventually someone gives their head for a head rip or trip or something like that when you create enough chaos. They now are much more like 2-on-1s or smaller power plays, but
Mm-hmm.
this is how I remember them fighting. Ah, nice use of the body.
Very good use of the body there. I think that was Andy Wiggles. Very, very good use of the body. Tried it again. I think it was Andy. It might have been Jacob, actually.
Ah, 1-for-1.
2-on-1.
Sorry, gotta close my window. Neighbor is smoking. Ah, nice. Ah, that's a pity.
It again, I think that was Jacob actually in that round. So he used the body well once, kept trying to go to it, managed to get bundled over.
But really good effort.
Effort for trying, yeah.
Yeah. And that trip at the start, that was unfortunate.
Mm-hmm. So 1-1, third round going for the final. We go.
Careful start from both teams.
Mm-hmm.
Nice sidekick. That was high.
Yep.
Ooh, what happened here?
There was a
Head rip.
takedown
All
over there,
right.
and then another head rip. So there was an initial takedown, which I think was a head rip by Steve, and then another one as well.
All right, I missed that.
Yeah.
Anna, he rotated him.
Yeah.
Countered,
Beautiful.
nice.
And then the head rip.
Yeah, and he's head ripping him. He's pretty well tortured up, holding the list, not in a huge danger.
Nope.
But as he tried to yank him, he got head ripped himself.
Yep.
Nice situational awareness from this guy, and obviously really good counter prior.
Mm-hmm. They pushed. I think it was Luke gets pushed under the list here from this front headlock position there.
Just keep distance from Barney, don't let him do something crazy.
Still trying to get there though.
Yeah, well, that's
Still trying,
what you gotta do.
recognizes it. And then JP gets taken down.
So, Invicta won.
Yep. So Invicta won that one. Again, really close fights. Could go either way depending on what happens and who shows up. Well, a really good event. Really good event all told.
Has White Company ever lost a tournament in UK? Or
Yeah,
in
they
recent
lost.
years?
They lost. I think it was the Heritage Shield last year. I think they lost that to Invicta as well. I think Iska came third in that one. I think.
Yeah, maybe Iska. Didn't Iska win that one? Yeah, who knows?
No, I don't think Iska won it. I thought Invicta won it. But either way, they have lost a few. But you know, we've also got to factor in White Company have got up and coming fighters. You know, the team rosters change, and it's all experience. You know,
and I like them. I like them that they still go under White Company name, even though they are not full force, because some teams trolls they when they are not the full troll squad, they don't go under Prague Trolls or some other team, or whatever name, and they go under like the secondary name,
right?
So they don't lose the street cred.
Yeah.
I don't know if they do it anymore, but I remember doing them. I remember some teams doing it from time to time. So yeah, props to them.
Yeah, like I say, really good event, some really good fights. You know, even the losses were really hard fights. Like I think for us, I went through and did our kind of footage review for the Wolves. We had 4 fights in our group, so we had a maximum fight time of 40 minutes. Right, 4 fights, maximum 10. Our fights were we fought for 38 minutes and 3 seconds or something stupid. Like they were long, hard, drawn out fights. 3 rounders with ACG in our final fight. We went 4 rounds. Like they were very, very hard fights. The level of competition was great. And obviously for a first event, ACG did a great job organizing it, putting it on. So yeah, I was really, really happy to be there.
All right. So that was Severnside. One thing I gotta say, I hope you don't take it bad, but every single UK tournament looks exactly the same. The background is always exactly the same.
Yeah. So this was at a rugby club. You know, on the rugby pitch. Rented the rugby club. Hey, bar, food, changing rooms, showers.
Perfect.
You know,
love it.
Weather. The weather was 27 degrees and sunny all day. Like it was hot.
Yeah.
It was hotter than Denmark.
That's perfect.
But yeah, you're right. We find it very, very difficult to find some really historic venues. Kirkstall Abbey obviously was the best, but for the sake of having a tournament and everybody getting together and fighting each other and having fun, can't beat it.
No, that's all good. That's all good. I was just reminiscing at the last weekend how great it was to have indoor tournaments. Because you have changing rooms, you got proper toilets, you got showers, you got AC.
Yeah.
It's all good. But the last tournament I can recall I was at was in Poland, and it was the best indoor venue you can imagine. I'm gonna quickly pull that up. That was in Wrocław. Here.
Oh, look at that. That's a
Dude.
venue. Yeah.
Dude, that was so cool. If we manage to get a World Championship here, holy moly, that would be so good.
And you've
And the
not bothered
stands for
about
the
the
visitors,
weather.
everything,
Yeah.
perfect. And you don't have to think about the floor material.
hmm
That would be so good to have it there. Oh my god. But that was
hmm
like, I don't know, 7 years ago, and since then everything was outdoors.
Right.
Would love to have some indoor tournament again. Alright, so yeah, Severnside. And for the last part, let's take a look at the Way of Honor.
hmm
Unfortunately, we don't have better graphics for it because some teams dropped out.
Yeah.
So I just had to pull this paper up. So I think 6 or 7 teams dropped out.
hmm
But still quite a lot. Really high level of competition. Unfortunately, no Americans,
Mm.
which was always a boon at Way of
There was some
Honor.
originally signed up though, right? Was Dragoons were down, weren't they?
Yeah, they are one of those that dropped out.
Right. Okay.
But we beat their ass too much, so they chickened out. so just kidding, guys. Just kidding. Yeah, it was a good fight with them. It was really nice
Yeah.
chess match, tactical. I really hope to fight them again soon. It's a really great team to fight. You
Mhm.
have to have everything in order to fight them.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Physical preparation, mental preparation, tactics, technique, everything. If you want to have any chance beating them, you gotta have those top notch.
Mhm.
So yeah, this is the teams that left. Maybe someone else joins, hopefully, steps up. But if
I
not,
can't see your screen.
you can't.
No, I can still see the lovely arena we were just looking at.
Ah, yeah. Give me a second.
No worries.
How about now? No?
Not yet.
Okay. Uh, how about now?
Yes, there we go.
Oh yeah. So that was Discord issue, but it still went through. It's still through in recording. No issues there.
Mhm.
All right. So the groups shifted a little bit. I
Yep.
think some teams are very happy about that. Again, looking at
Mhm.
Prague Trolls, who were in the group of death with White Company, Sata
Mhm.
Kunta,
Yeah.
those teams. So that's the group 1 now, and we have White Company, Sabarasser from Switzerland, Lions of
Mhm.
Steel from Netherlands, Sata Kunta. We of course know those Finns. We
Mhm.
watched them on previous episodes, and Growly, French. I think it's like third, fourth best team, something
Mhm.
around there.
Yeah.
The French have 2 tiers again,
Yep.
as UK does sometimes, but
Mhm.
they have like whole structured league that you have tournaments only for tier 1 and you have
Yep.
tournaments only for tier 2. So and you can have some movement up and down in there,
Mhm.
scoring points, stuff like that. So
Yeah.
for me, it's hard to keep up with it, but I know Growly are firmly in the League 1.
Yeah.
So out of those, only 2 will advance. And
Mhm.
honestly, this one will be so fun to watch. I just can't wait to analyze them, all
Yeah.
of those fights here. Because at this point, I don't know, honestly. Because
So,
Sabarastra,
well, this is the thing, right? So my initial, just from reading the list,
Hmm.
my initial reaction would be White Company and Satakunta would be my 2 picks. But we did an episode where we saw some of the Sabarasla fights, and obviously you've seen them up close and personal at a tournament not so long ago, and they were really impressive.
They are huge, they are strong,
Yeah.
and they love the game. They keep improving. They see
yeah.
some technique that worked on them in one tournament, and on the next tournament you see them doing the technique over and over and over. So they learn from their losses and they keep getting better. So honestly, it's a dice toss between all those teams. Growly are, I haven't seen them for quite some time, but I remember them as a very dynamic team.
Yeah.
But
So I think the last event that they did in France, which was probably a month ago now, they had some newer fighters on the roster rather than the Growly that we would know from a few years ago at Way of Honor. So they might not be as strong unless they've got that full lineup back, which is hard to say because again I don't know. But you can never count them out. Same with Lions of Steel. They're a little bit, for me personally, and this is not a knock on them, but they seem to be a little bit of a hit and miss team.
Yeah.
Like when they're there and they're switched on and they're really, really, really good.
They have great kickboxing.
Yeah. But then there are times when they're not quite firing, they're not quite gelled or whatever, and they just don't seem to get out of, say, second gear. It'll be a really, really, really good group. Like I say, if you were just going off the list and you didn't watch any fights, but you just knew of team names, you would say White Company and Satakunta based on recent results and history, right?
That would be my pick also, but it really depends
It's going to be interesting.
Like how those teams even wake up. Like if I had to guess, Growly will not advance. But again, they are so dynamic that they can beat any team at any point just based on like that team not paying attention for 2 seconds. You have to be constantly switched on when fighting them.
Yep.
And so yeah, my pick also is White Company and Satakunta. But I wouldn't even be surprised if those teams beat White Company. Honestly. It's really tough group. And I can't wait. But my pick is White Company and Satakunta. But it's not very confident pick. Let's put it that way. So, Group 2, KSR, Like Dealer. Like Dealer, I thought they are completely new team. But if I remember correctly, I saw them in Bratwurst Museum, Svaitkutoringe Cup, and they were pretty good. They didn't get out of the group, but they were not bad. And I think if I remember correctly, someone told me that some members, like kind of some members of Decima, rebranded, and some new members. And Decima used to be the best German team for a really long time, and they were challenging like the best European team at the time. But then they kind of had some slumps, some members left, and they kind of teetered out. And now they are trying to get that position again. So not a team to underestimate by no means. Tavastia Armigeri is a Finnish team. And we see them pretty much every Way of Honor. And I don't know how the Finnish scene works, because if I remember correctly, they beat Satakunta in some like local Finnish tournaments.
Yeah, so I think the Finnish have a regular like 3v3 league, and then last year they had the Hämeenlinna Cup. Was it last year or the year before? It might have been the year before, but they have the Hämeenlinna Cup at Hämeenlinna Castle, which is fives. And I think they beat Satakunta at that event because that was when Kraken came over from Australia for Way of Honor, and they fought in that the week or two before.
So that was 2 years ago, I think.
2 years ago, then, yeah. So I mean, they've got a good chance in this group.
But if I had to put them up 5v5 against Satakunta, I would give it to Satakunta. But I don't know. I'm just really impressed by Satakunta, and I haven't seen anything like they are not bad team, but they don't do anything like really special in my eyes. Armigeri, but maybe they will surprise. Who knows? They have really good pro fighter.
Kari.
The big bald guy.
Yeah, Kari.
Yeah.
Kari Kavisto. Yeah. He won super heavy Titan Gold, world champion, IMCF.
Could be.
Yeah, he did, yeah.
Yeah, so guy to pay attention to for sure. And
Mhm.
Icarus, Italian team, again, sometimes they do really well, sometimes they are kind of mid. So don't know what to expect of them. And Eisenlowen, they are not. They go to every tournament they can. It seems like,
Mhm.
and they always like try to win, but they
Mhm.
not very often do. Let's put it that
Yeah.
way.
I mean, looking at it on the face of it, I would say KSR and Tavastia would be my top 2 picks. Icarus, like you say, they're either similar to Lines of Steel. They're either advancing from the group like they did in 2024, but then they didn't, they got knocked out in the next fight or whatever, or they're not quite there for that event and they don't get through. So my pick would be KSR and Tavastia, but there could be a surprise in there potentially.
So KSR, I think, depends on what roster comes. But yeah, I think they will. If they bring their top roster, they will advance for sure. But that really depends.
Yeah.
And the second one, yeah, Armigieri or Icarus. Yeah.
Yeah.
I if I had to, I would slightly lean towards Icarus. So Group 3, this one has 6 teams. Obviously, one of them will feature me. Iska was supposed to feature you, but unfortunately you cannot come.
Sadly not, no.
Yeah,
but
sucks.
yeah, it's going to be, it sucks, but life sometimes gets in the way of fun. But it's going to be an interesting group. So obviously, we've got to say that you're one of the favourites to advance.
Yeah,
with recent performances.
It will not be as easy as as I usually would say. One, there is some good competition in that group, and it also depends how well will we recover from IMCF.
Yep.
There are some injuries, so we will see. But then again, if someone will not be able to come, I am very confident in our guys that they will pick up the torch, and they will not be able to they will not be space makers for others. They will be able to finally show what's in them, and I think they will grab it and do their best there. So yeah, I still think we will advance, but I will not say, oh yeah, we just go like knife through butter as I would on other tournaments.
Yeah.
But I think we will advance together with Iron Wolves. It will be interesting match against Iron Wolves. They obviously are riding a wave like crazy. They are doing so well. Like, I love their fight style. It's gonna be a firecracker of a fight. And Dax, I think they are in League 2 of the French league.
Yeah, so I've fought them a couple of times when they've come over to the UK. They're probably middle of the pack in terms of that group. Depends again how they turn up. They're not an easy fight for anyone, but they're definitely beatable.
They have a good runner, if I remember correctly. And Alpenkrieger is an Austrian team who usually fights only IMCF. And they have one fighter that impressed me when I saw him, but the rest of the team has some work to do still if they are on the level that I last saw them.
Yep.
So I think they will not be advancing. And Iska, that's not a pure Iska. That's like a Primus, more like, right?
Yeah. So obviously Primus now exists again for events where guys can't get the home teams to go. Wolves and Iska, we'd registered separately as clubs for this event. We got picked, but then for one reason or another, people not being able to make it, both clubs were basically like, we can't field our own full teams. So Iska is obviously the team that kept the registration. The Wolves didn't. We dropped. But a couple of my guys are transferring across to fight on Iska's roster. So I've got three guys from the Wolves in there that are also Primus guys, which helps. So I'm interested to see how they fight. Now, individually, all of the fighters are very, very strong. Very strong individuals. The teamwork will be what makes it pay or makes it or breaks it, shall we say. Because individually, every one of them can do the hero stuff and get the takedowns and, win the one-on-ones. It's when they get into the two-on-ones, that teamwork, and seeing whether that national training I've been talking about, where we skill share and we try and build towards a national team, really works together and gels. The good thing is there's half of the team are Iska fighters, half of the team, for all intents and purposes, are the Wolves fighters, so they know each other. So you'll have elements of it that can and do work together. I expect them to do well, and I'm obviously gutted that I'm not on that field with them, which is frustrating for me. But I still think they'll do well.
Yeah, definitely not a team to underestimate for anyone.
No, definitely not.
So yeah, Iron Wolves, I think safe to say favorites of that group.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, given the recent performances.
Ferox is a middle of the road German team. At their good day, they can defeat any German team. At their bad day, they can finish last, or close to last. So it really depends how they sleep. But also not a team to underestimate. They have really good striker who is pretty tall, lanky, but like he moves really well, and it's always a pain to try and get him into some position.
Yeah.
And then he just somehow slips out of it. I don't know how, but yeah, good team to fight. But again, I don't see them advancing from that group. And group 4, Rookport Knights, strong team. I think they are number 1 in Germany. Yeah, they are number 1 in Germany now, and they are big and they have good armors. So it's hard to pain compliance them, and it's hard to wrestle them because they are so big, most of them. So you have to be pretty creative to beat them. Vysočina, obviously, like very old team with big legacy and some new guys now, some new blood on their roster. So it depends in what squad they will come. But yeah, they beat Prague Trolls in national eliminations for IMCF in spring. And now I think Prague Trolls beat them in Rataj. So let's see how this one shapes up. Carcassonne, also League One French team. It's being led and coached by, Baptiste. He is a former, or he was fighting in France for a long time. Then he moved to Prague, fought with Prague Trolls, and he is exceptionally good runner. He is really creative, really mobile, slippery, and he's my good friend too. I cannot wait to meet him there again and see how he shaped up that team. And let's come to I don't know much about them, to be honest.
So very, very strong French team. If memory serves me correct, they were like top of League One France, if not last year, the year before. Very, very good runners. Some very dangerous axemen, like really, really kind of spiteful, hurtful Axemen shots. Depends what lineup they turn up with, but they're never a team to be underestimated for sure. Very, very strong.
And obviously Practicals, formerly one of the best teams in the world.
Yep.
In a bit of a reconstruction phase right now. So it depends in what squad they will come and how well their newer members are being able to gather experience and prepare. This group is about as hard to call as the group 1.
Yeah, I mean, for me, there's 3 teams that I think could advance, and that's Ruport Knights, Le Comptoir, and Prague Trolls. But like you say, Vysochnia, if they turn up and they do as well as they've been doing, they could easily advance. Carcassonne, I'm not so sure on. I don't see enough of them to really be able to weigh them against the others. But Ruport Knights for sure have got to be a favorite in that group.
I would also be able to lean to one of the French teams. Let's come to in this if I'm not to be biased towards Baptiste, but what I notice with French teams, they are really good when they fight teams like with fighters that are middle-sized, but they really struggle when they have to fight really big people. Which is obviously Practicals have Kubzilla on their team and Pidel.
Yeah, big people, yeah.
And Vysochina also has some big guys, and obviously Ruport Knights have big guys. So I think they will struggle there. And so yeah, depends. I think it's either one of the Czech teams and Rupert Knights or Les Comtois or 2 Czech teams.
Yeah. Yeah, that's probably the most open wide. Group 2 and Group 4 are arguably pretty open.
And it's fun because anyone can take it. It's not like sometimes you really know ahead of time that these 2 teams are advancing and the rest of the teams will fight for the position in the group. But here, anyone can advance. So,
was the draw originally 5 groups or was it still 4?
I think it was 5, wasn't it?
I think it was, but like you say, if 6 or 7 teams have dropped, then it makes sense that it's still 4 groups, top 2 advance.
Maybe it was 4, but it was larger groups.
Yeah, it could have been. Either way, it's still going to be a very, very good event. And obviously, we've got the women's as well. There's women's 5s and 12s, right?
Yeah. And
so
yeah. I didn't see the rosters of the women teams.
Find them. Let's have a look.
Let me just
see if I can have a look on the website. So 5s women. So we've got the Hellions from the UK. Obviously, very, very strong team.
That's we've got the Iron AGC branch.
Yep. So it's the women's team from Armored Combat Gloucester, the Hellions. You've then got Iron Wolves, their women's team. So we saw them obviously for the first time at the Invitationals, and they had a very, very good performance. Sibylla.
It's French.
Not too familiar with them, but it's not too familiar. Eisenbiber, so female branch of the Eisen Lowen, maybe.
Yeah.
You've got White Company women. You've got the Manticore, which is Polish. I think I'm right in saying that. Anna Blouse's team. You've got Vespera from France, which is Louise Hullin's team, and then Prague Vixens in the 5s. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 women's 5s teams. So that's going to be some high-level women's competition as well. Like,
Are they in groups or it's a round robin?
I don't know. I'm only getting those names off the actual BI website for what which teams have been accepted. But even so, I would assume they're doing it as 2 groups, so potentially 2 groups of 4, round robin, so 3 fights each, and then probably the top 2 from each go through to a semi-final final, or it might be a round robin. They might do a women's round robin, so top 2 from each go through, and then it's a round robin with another 3 fights, effectively to determine first, second, third, and fourth. So that's really, really good. And then women's 12s as well. So yeah, there's going to be some.
I just found it. It's group 1 is Hellions, Iron Wolves, Eisenbiber, Prague Vixens, and group 2 is White Company, Sibylla, Manticore, Vespera. So I assume 2 are advancing.
Yeah.
So from group 1, I think it will be Iron Wolves and either Hellions or Prague Vixens.
Yeah.
And from group 2, definitely White Company. And I think it will be a tough match between Manticore and Vespera.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
And overall, I think in the finals, it could be. I think White Company will take it, but obviously, fingers crossed for Prague Vixens.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, the level of competition. There's no. Again, we talk about the level of competition just across the sport. There's no easy fights in there for any of the women's teams either.
For sure.
And
they are much more closely matched than male teams at most times.
Yeah, for sure. And in some instances, a lot more technical in the way that they do things as well. So I'm going to look forward to our Way of Honor review episode, and we'll do some of the women's reviews and the men's reviews. It'll be good to see.
Yeah. So with that, I think we can finally end the episode under 3 hours.
Boy,
you've
done a good job keeping your IMCF to under.
Yeah,
under
I could be I could talk about it for hour more, but not even I would be interested in that. So I'm not gonna put our listeners through that ordeal. So yeah, thank you for listening to my cries about to my crying about IMCF, and yeah, sad not to have you not to match up against you for another intro. We could refresh the intro.
Sadly not, but we'll be on the field again at some point together.
For sure.
But these things happen. Life happens. The sport will be there after it. So
and now
it is what it is.
Now you have to answer the most important question. Will you be cheering for Mamansi or Iske?
I'll be cheering for everybody. I told you before, I'm a fan of the sport.
Are you a politician?
I'm a member of the BI board. I'm very much a politician.
Right.
But in all seriousness, I will be cheering for everybody. I appreciate good fights. I appreciate the sport.
You will be cheering for Buhurt.
Yeah. At the end of the day, it'll be a good event. Everybody will get there. They'll have good fights. Fingers crossed, no major delays or issues. And,
no injuries.
Yeah, all being well. And it'll be a good iteration of the tournament.
Oh yeah, can't wait for the reviews. That will be spicy.
Yes,
the hardest thing I think will be to pick
which ones
and to stay under 2 hours.
Yeah, we'll have to do a 2-part episode.
Yeah,
we'll see.
Well, probably, maybe, could be, yeah. So thank you for joining me again. As said at the start, like, comment, subscribe. It's the only metric basically I have to what works, what doesn't work, how should I do the hashtags and YouTube shit like that, so it appears on your feed. And if you have the notification enabled, I don't have to take care about that because you will be notified for the new video. So you would help yourself with that because the content is perfect.
Yep. Make sure you obviously keep an eye out on the BI socials, Eisenliga socials. Way of Honor is a week today. So next Saturday and Sunday, next
Saturday
weekend.
8.
Yeah, make sure you're watching. Tune in. You'll see some really good women's fights. You'll see some really good men's fights. Top quality, top class teams from all over Europe. So yeah,
And
make sure you
also,
tune in.
last thing, I noticed that the votes are in for the next BI World Championship venue. So
The vote has concluded. Yes.
I don't know when will that be announced, but fingers
As
crossed.
soon as we're in a position to do so. So the vote is
favorite,
closed.
I hope it will win.
So the vote's closed. Obviously, that's been collated. BI as an organization have obviously now got to go away and work with the chosen venue to sort out the legal contractual elements. And once that's done, we'll be in a position to announce it. So keep your eyes peeled. We're hoping to be able to do that sooner rather than later. But as with anything, as we saw with Aradia and as we had with Visegrad, we're dealing with other organizations and other partners in other countries. There are elements that we've got to make sure we've sorted first. So hopefully we won't keep you waiting too long.
Okay. So thank you guys for listening.
Thank you.
See you with a gold medal from Way of Honor. Oh yeah, fuck. I jinxed myself again. Oh no.